Is the war on video games still relevant? Well, that's a complicated question as it ultimately comes down to the individual. To set the standard, I would have to describe this war thusly: a series of populated controversies surrounded by violence in video games which gains opposition through reality. Throughout the existence of video games, there have always been people who don't understand why gamers play so fervently. Thus, there will always be opposition to these virtual fantasies, be it religion, stupidity, disdain, or fear. These motivations will always come down to arguing the point of violence in video games. They'll say violence in the game will make you violent in real life. This is obviously untrue. People make themselves violent. Reality will always prove these people wrong time and time again. Let's have a peer through time to answer a part of this question. Custer's Revenge. Oh god. A video game where you are the general who must get to the other side. There are arrows being shot as you try to get some of that fucking sweet puss. People protested this game because of how it portrayed the woman strapped to a pole. People were outraged because they thought it was rape. Mortal Kombat, a game that was super realistic at the time. This game would showcase blood and guts when fighting one's opponents. Really fun. This prompted the ESRB to exist. Doom. Oh yes, Doom. This one had a space marine fighting through the hordes. You know, the badass game that had you fight through hell and the UAC facility. That was the biggest offender because two young gentlemen decided to shoot up a school. Oh, and they happened to play Doom. Forgot about that. You can see where these SJWs come from, as those who were offended weren't just the religious folk. Let's see where the present takes us. Nowadays, every single video game, no matter how altruistic it may be, is wrong. It's wrong because people say it's wrong for some bullshit reason. So, the short answer is yes, because somewhere some mentally handicapped retarded people are gonna bitch about something. But the thing is, now we have these feminists attacking the god of entertainment constantly. We have these people trying to change the core mechanics, characters, and stories to the pleasure of interpersonal fantasies. Gamers are going to be relentless by criticizing such shortcomings. Do they lack the perception? The long answer is the war on video games is constantly changing. Evolutions take place. As time went on, people don't care about what extremists say. Gamers have been constantly clashed with ideologies before. The individual has a great responsibility in this area too. Does he get triggered by one small thing in the game, or does he not give a flying fuck? This is a rhetorical question, obviously. When an SJW gets triggered by something, they do not care about you or me. They care about their goals and their own perception. They make hysterics about it and move on eventually. Usually, people who get triggered are the ones who have some sort of trauma. This is not the case even though they say it is. They'll treat opinions as fact, not considering others. Because sane people go to therapy and get trained for that kind of shit. The responsibility is on them to better themselves. If he doesn't care, but disagrees with the content, then they'll know this is the most natural way of looking at art. Not purchasing a game because of the politics, for one, is a great example of this. He'll say, I don't want to get into the game because of the politics, when explaining why he hasn't gotten the game. If he enjoys the game in its entirety, except for one small factor, then he chooses not to give a fuck. This will be an ongoing cycle over and over and over again. I mean, for Christ's sakes, people are still religious about heavy metal, a music genre. It's not even anywhere near as engaging as video games. Personally, I'm on the side of gamers on this one because it has been proven over and over again that video games do not cause violence in real life. It is the individual who chooses to do so. And all of this, ruckus about the video games and whatnot, it's bullshit. Media outlets, SJWs, feminists, they all do it through the reasons I explained why in this video.